at you like
Do you
this.
guys think that the black man is a contributing factor to all of the problems within our culture?
No, I think
No.
the white man.
The white man did that to us.
I agree.
Yeah, they perpetuated
The green man.
Okay, so but break
green
it
man.
down
The
for me.
green man.
Tell me
money.
one, why the white man is a problem, and then tell me how the black man is allowing
Yeah.
him to do whatever.
Okay, let me
he's
get
done.
into it. Because I
Get
think
into it,
initially, I
please.
say this because they can filter and push what they want to push.
Yep.
From the music to the movies to even the content.
Okay,
They
so
put an
but let me
algorithm.
ask you this though.
Right.
If you was present in your household,
Right.
if you was there for your children, if you was treating that child's mother with respect, instead of f***ing her and leaving her,
Right.
then you can be present for your child and
Most
teach
definitely.
them that they're better than whatever the white man is pushing.
Yeah.
But because you're not there, your child is being raised
For sure. But at
by.
But she's assuming that the man just left the house on his own. She's assuming that the woman didn't get on a government support and, food stamps and throw the man out of the house, because you can't have both. You can't have food stamps and a husband in the household. She's assuming the woman didn't file for divorce because she was unhappy because she had to put herself first. She's making so many assumptions like the guy just left. And we know 80% of broken relationships or divorces are filed by women. So she's making so many weird assumptions.
the same time, we got to go back to the 70s and the 80s when they put those programs to
What
keep the
about
black. I mean, it takes time. It's only been 40 some years. It takes time to
Well,
understand
what you doing?
Wait.
I'm telling you, me,
But organic isn't wrong.
It's been 40 years. It's been 40 years of us trying to get it back together.
Right.
It's been 400 years of intentional
That was already pushed back.
dismantle
Yeah.
of our black household.
For sure.
So what we're experiencing right now as a black community is the crap load from what they did intentionally. A lot of the black men, and it's not me giving y'all no excuse, because in real life,
It's
I want
real.
y'all to stand the up.
Yeah.
In reality, a lot of black men don't have an example on how to show up as a man, because they've never been given the
Right.
position of seeing a leader.
Mm-hmm.
If you grew up in a single parent, single mom household, you don't honestly know how to show up as a leader unless you had an uncle that was coming around that had you up under him,
Right.
a pastor,
But how
a football
long is
coach,
that
or
gonna be?
whatever.
And
It's growing though, because remember when we grew up, when I
We've
grew
been
up, it was
saying
75% of households didn't have fathers. Now it's like 40. If even it's growing, it takes time.
Well, you know what it is?
no,
If it's not a-
wait,
if a woman
organic
is not a
is
good
more.
mother or a good wife, we don't make excuses for her and say, "Well, her mother wasn't home. Her mother was in the streets. Her mother
Sometimes
was a crack."
they do.
We don't.
We do. Actually, if a kid is bad, it's always the father that is blamed. Where was the father? He doesn't pay child support. He never wants to see his kids. All this. But when a kid does well, the mother, he had such a good mom. You guys have seen so many guys, athletes, when they go to the draft, the NFL draft, basketball and things like that, they bring their mothers along, even if they have their fathers who did their job or who paid child support, who was seeing them. They always give props to the mom. But when a kid does bad, they blame the dad. That's number one. Number two, when the mom is struggling, they say give her grace, mental health, she's a single mom, things like that. But when a dad is struggling, they just call him a deadbeat. So let's be honest.
No, we just say she's a bum. She's a
No, we
deadbeat
don't.
mom. We make so many excuses for men.
No,
I'm
we
No,
don't.
we
don't
don't.
make any excuses for the deadbeat moms.
You can hear,
We don't make any excuses for them
I hear the
ones.
perspective, but and for me with this conversation, I never like that it becomes a us versus them.
Yeah.
And I'm not one of those people either. Like I'm not a pro woman, pro male. I'm pro whoever makes sense.
Yeah.
Right? I think when we get into this is perpetuating the exact thing that we're speaking about, the division, because we're looking to assign blame instead of just recognizing that we're on two sides of the same experience.
Most definitely.
I think your only thing that I would say, in addition to what you asked Ra about the black man specifically, is I do think that there's a level of resilience that a black man has to have that no other man on this earth has to have. And then they come into their household, they don't know how to strip that armor down. So the same type of aggression and everything that they use to face the world, they bring into the household. So
And that's the main thing men have always said. If you can bring all black men together, if there's one thing they're all going to agree with, it's about the aggression, the attitude from their women. Even men who are still married today, there's one thing they're going to complain about is their women having attitude, being aggressive towards them. That's the main thing.
children get witness sometimes to that aggression.
Not respecting the
Sometimes-
black
Now,
woman
can it
is
happen
the
that way?
problem.
But where it kind of flips back is you have to
And
ask,
it is us
it's a-
against
but
them.
it
I feel
isn't
like
though,
that.
because the
How can it
conditioning.
not be a war with
You're
us
not
against-
even letting her speak because she's not agreeing with you or she's agreeing with the men. You're not even letting her speak. Come on.
them and look at the shit that they say.
But the same degree, what my greater point is, why is he incapable of stripping his shields? There's a lack of like vulnerability, right? And we got to be clear on that. Vulnerable means that I'm susceptible to attack, but your partners and your household, your family is not supposed to be your attacker.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you're not supposed to feel like you can't be compelled to open that side of you up. So you got a lot of you men who go two ways about it. Some of y'all take it to the gym and pump iron
Got to
and
do
hit
that.
those sports and da-da-da. And some of them go do dumb
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
So that takes them off the streets either by way of getting killed or putting them into the incarceration system, or better yet, the federal correction system.
For sure.
Instead of rehabilitation, which
But
is what
that's-
our
but-
community really needs.
Cash,
But
but,
what-
peel another layer back before 1 second. I'm sorry, because
Go
I'm
ahead,
still on your
Randy.
team with this one. Peel another layer back. How often are you told as a black child not to go into that doctor's office telling them all your business?
That's always.
So how if we have grown as grown women can sit around and say that we had late diagnosis in whatever aspect of mental health, how many of these men, not to give excuses to any of you motherfuckers, because y'all
We
disgusting
need
a
little
lot
bit
of the
excuses.
time.
Help us.
How many of these men are sitting around undiagnosed?
A lot of
2-3 generations in undiagnosed, don't necessarily know how to emotionally regulate, know how to process what they're going through, know how to verbalize what they're going through. These are the same people that's told, don't cry, big boys don't cry.
Facts.
Shut up.
I don't-
Shut up before I give you something to cry about.
Hell
And
yeah.
I hate that because
Yeah.
it's like now we got these grown ass men who sit here and say that he's gonna try to you without feeding you.
Well,
Yeah, I
I don't
gotta
know if
do
you
that.
guys know.
I mean, I kind of there are so many points, but there's one thing I want to talk about. The whole thing of men not crying. I think it's usually because they don't have a dad. Because most boys cry in front of their dad. They may not cry in front of the mom, but they cry with the dad. But if the dad isn't even in the household, in the home, he's never gonna cry because the mom is gonna tell him, "Stop crying, you're a man." You know, but in front of the dad, the kid will cry. And even then, if the dad doesn't let him cry, he's gonna ask him, "What are you crying about? What's the issue?" "Okay, that's the issue. Let's find a solution." Instead of crying, here is the solution. Usually that's what dads do. "What are you crying about? What's the problem?" Yet the mom could be like, "Oh, come here, my son, just cry on my shoulder." And the issue is still there. The problem is maybe the kid is getting bullied in school or something. The dad will get up with the kid and they go to the school. The mom will just say, "Don't worry about those boys. Oh, they're bad people," and that's it. Boys usually want a solution. It's not just about shedding tears.
No, there was also a study.
Wait, hold on. Slow.
Who's laughing?
Let's-
Motherfucker.
I want to
But,
say this.
but wait, hold on, cause I just got to get this in.
Let me hear it,
ahead.
Ray.
No pun intended. The problem that I have is that we're not actually realizing the root of the problem.
Mm-hmm.
And we said the black man, we said the white man, and I said the green man,
Talk about the green man.
right? Because the green man is the only thing that is keeping us divided.
The
If
money.
you actually pay attention to what's been happening. At some point in time, we can go about the welfare when women chose to actually have the money instead of having the father. Right. So now you have everything is a domino effect of another. And now we got a point in time. And this is the most important thing I think that we need to understand as a community, that we're thinking that black men do not value black women who are in the entrepreneur world. Because actually, out of all the entrepreneurs,
They make the
black
most
women
money.
make up most of that percentage. Right. However, black women are the only specific group that actually can get funding and grants. You can't be a black man and get a grant, but you could be a black woman and get a grant just for being black and a woman.
I know more.
No, yeah, you can. There's
I thought he Donald
We got
Trump.
ways.
did it
No,
all.
no,
gotta,
no.
gotta get a guy.
So, but-
Oh, you
so-
gotta get a
I
guy.
think what your
But
your
wait,
point,
but
I'm
wait.
sorry, Rico. Go ahead,
But
finish your
this
thought.
is not just something that just happened right now. It's been happening.
Yeah.
So now what have they been doing? So the next
Empowering
money
women.
move after they stripped us from the household, right? And now we find a way to start to make things work. More men are in their child's life. This is a real stat that more black men are in their child's lives than are not. So what they're going to do is divide by empowering one and diminishing the other.
Yeah.
Right? So if I can empower you and diminish you, then what's
Yeah,
going to happen
that's a
is
good word.
they're going to say, well, listen, you that's us fighting against each other.
Right.
Because you can't find value in me because I'm down here, but you're not understanding I'm down here because you're valuing the green man.
Right.
That's facts. The money is a very, very big issue of the issues in the black community. In fact, between a man and woman, because we have all heard how women get money and they say that I'm strong and independent. Independent of who? A man. So even if a woman makes $100,000 and a man makes $100,000, she thinks she can't respect him because he doesn't make this much money. And even when they make the same money, she thinks she cannot go with 50-50 because she's settling. So the money is the issue at the end of the day. It's like the man to be respected these days, he's got to make like a gazillion trillion dollars for him to be respected. Even then, she can disrespect you. So if you make the same money or less, she's going to disrespect you. You have to make way more. And even if you make way more, you cannot tell her what to do. So I agree, the money is the issue. If they have the money or if they don't have the money, it's an issue. If they don't have the money, you got to have all the money. If they have the money, you're below her. You're not on her level. They call it you're not on my level and an independent don't need you. But when men make money, you've never heard of a man who makes money, millions of dollars, saying I'm independent.